Talking about stuff that's new, we're shuffling around here getting ready for our chef to give you some stuff. How do you like jalapenos?
I love anything hot.
Are they getting
That's what I like about you, Jeannie.
Oh, boy, you are with it this morning. I don't like jalapenos, but you know, if you get them on you, they can actually give you a rash. They're that hot.
Yeah, you know that Texas Pete sauce. It makes me wheeze, but I love it anyway.
I used to live in Texas, and honestly, on salad bars, they have jalapenos out like you'd eat whole celery.
Oh.
But the thing is, that's new about jalapenos. There's a new type of jalapeno called, I don't speak Spanish, habanero.
Sounds good
pepper,
to me.
And the grower says it is 1,000 times hotter than regular jalapenos.
1,000 times?
I want to bring one on and make you eat 10 of them
Oh,
sometimes.
my.
See what you can do.
For the right amount of money, I'll do that.
How much money? That gold
That
coin.
gold
sitting
bar,
over
yeah.
there.
That
We
coin.
would like to introduce right now Jerry and Moran, and we're not going to make you eat jalapenos. How are you doing today?
Not. Okay, feel good.
You are from La Pasta Fresca, one of the...
La Pasta Fresca Ristorante.
I'm speaking it very official.
Excuse me.
It has a very good reputation for
Thank you.
pasta in town, and we appreciate you joining us this morning. What's hot in pasta right now?
What's hot? Colored pasta. When I say colored, you have tomato, spinach. You can put chocolate powder in it. I don't want to do that. And what I keep hearing about is squid pasta, where you put squid
Did
in.
you bring some squid ink for us?
I stopped by Winn-Dixie this morning to pick some squid ink up, and they didn't have
And we
any.
promised everybody a week and we're going to have squid pasta.
I don't think
I
they
know it. Well, we're going to try some tomato paste here in a moment. We'll see how that
Okay.
works.
What's the easiest way to show us how to do this and make it simple?
The biggest challenge making pasta at home is making a heavy, thick dough. I talk to my guests and they say, we try to make pasta at home and the dough is much too sticky. And that's true. We have the machinery at La Pasta Fresca that makes a very heavy, hard, thick dough, and we can roll it and it's not all sticky and stuck together. I think your best bet for making pasta at home is in the Cuisinart, and I brought my Cuisinart along.
Okay, Jerry, I tell you what, we are going to open our phone lines if you have questions about pasta and pasta making. He's the expert to
And when
call.
did I start making some? While they're
Yeah,
calling
when
in?
everybody
go
start
ahead.
calling in, okay?
The number there you see,
Go
633-TV12.
Everybody
And,
shuffle.
We're going to try and get out of
Musical
your way
chairs
here.
here.
All right. Well, there are two basic kinds of pasta, and one is the boxed pasta, really macaroni. This is made in the south of Italy, and it's made in a factory by a machine, and all it is semolina flour, very hard water. The egg pasta, which is what we're going to make, and what La Pasta Fresca specializes in, is made with fresh eggs, semolina flour. This is actually a patent flour, Ravenna.
Where do you
Is that
get
something, yeah, where do you...
I get that from a supplier in Orlando. It's kind of hard to find.
Can we just go out to some store and find it?
You can
or-
find it in gourmet shops, but generally it's coarse, like cornmeal, and that's very, very difficult to work with.
Are people going to be able to do this
is
at home
finer.
then?
Well, really, you can use almost any kind of flour. You should try to get this yellow hard flour. You can use Pillsbury bread flour or even whole wheat, but you've got to be careful with the whole wheat because that doesn't have the same properties as the white
Oh,
flour.
okay. People trying to be healthy then ought to kind of watch out for that.
All right.
Let's see it in the Cuisinart.
Yeah, well, let's make up some basic dough here. What I want to do is get about a pound of flour, and it's not critical, the weights. Don't be concerned at home about weighing things because you can eyeball it. Nobody's watching you. You're not on TV. So we're going to take about a pound of flour. There we go. Actually, that's 17 ounces, but I'll show you that it really doesn't matter. We're going to put it in the Cuisinart. And pasta is a very personal kind of thing. You've got to get your hands into it.
Oh, no, this isn't a fancy contraptions. You just got it plain down there in the
Cuisinart, well,
don't
you can make it by hand, but you look like a gorilla. By the time you got through, you'd have muscles this big.
Pasta muscle.
All right, we're going to take a couple eggs. Let's take 2 eggs.
How much will this amount make?
This will make about just about a pound.
Really? Even with the eggs added so it doesn't shriek
Look at
up
this.
or-
You can tell as a chef he can crack this with one hand. Shoot, mine would go all in with
How
the
do you do
shovels.
that?
Well, we
Get
got
onto
a
that.
I don't know. You know, used to work an egg grill, and
He's cracked a
you
jillion of
pick
those
it up.
things.
But do you break the yolk or not? That's the important thing. The sunny sides up. Well, I took about a pound of pasta. For making pasta at home, you should use about 2 eggs to a pound.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to be too hard to work with. We're going to put in a little bit of water, just a little bit. Not too much. You can always add more later, but it's tough to bring it back. We're going to put some oil in, and people ask me, Jerry, why do you put the
Olive oil?
oil in? It doesn't matter, but really it's superstition. Why do we put the oil in? I think it makes the pasta a little bit tenderer, but I'm afraid to make it without the oil. I don't know what would happen.
And with the regular old stuff, just in the water boiling it, I put a little of that in just to
That doesn't do a thing. It's a waste of oil. The way to keep pasta from sticking together is to keep it moving until it comes back to a boil. If you put oil in the water, it's
I always
Now,
put
Jerry,
oil in the
drain.
water.
They say it's ready when you can take a strand and throw it to the wall and it sticks. Is that true?
You've got to take it out and bite it.
Oh, okay.
And remember when you
don't throw pasta in your
when
walls
you're
at
cooking. No, you can't. Well, I do it at my house. But you should not cook pasta more than just enough to get it soft, because you have to remember after you take it out of the water and put it on the plate and put the sauce on it, It's going to keep cooking.
El dente.
Especially.
Are you supposed to put cold water on it to stop it?
No, don't
What's
rinse
that
it.
do?
It washes the flavor off.
Oh.
Washes the flavor off.
Wait,
But
this
if you
one
have a
must be my hand all
really
You quit doing that, okay?
if you have a really juicy sauce, though, you want to really undercook that pasta because it's going to continue cooking in that hot sauce. By the time it's cool enough to eat, you're going to have a bowl of mush.
Okay,
Let's
crank
see.
her
All
up.
right, let's see how this works.
Let me move.
You're on
Here's
the
my
pull.
Cuisinart. This is a hot-wired Cuisinart. I took the safety off of it, so be careful.
You know, there's a big debate about whether pasta was in China first or Italy first. What do you think?
Well, they say, who was it? Marco Polo brought it back. Who knows? I think somebody got desperate. All they
What
had,
the Italians want to claim it, don't they?
all they had were, well, they want to claim everything. The Italians.
Oh, no,
They're
no.
wonderful people, though.
Well, they have
And they
good
taught me everything
food.
I know up in New York. I started working in Italian restaurants, a poor little Irish boy, and really got to work out.
What really amazes me is they eat in Italy all this stuff as appetizers. I mean, a huge plate of raviolis is an appetizer.
This is what I'm
not a
trying to
main
tell
course.
people. Have a little bit of
Gee
pasta
whiz.
as a first course. You don't have to eat it along with dinner.
Yeah.
And we like to serve it as an entree.
Well, now 1 cup of pasta has about 200 calories.
It's really
so that's
not that
too
much.
bad.
No,
that's
not
before
at all.
you put the cream sauce.
It's all the
and stuff
gunk you put on it. You put cream on it. You have to remember, fat has 9 calories per gram.
on it. Oh, shoot.
Let's take a call. Go ahead, caller. Your question.
Yes, how many minutes would it really take for it to cook?
How long does it take to cook? Depends on the size of the pasta. If it's skinny, if it's wide, if it's flat. Now, if you get dry pasta out of a box, this will take 5 or 6 minutes to cook. If you cook this fresh pasta, and we don't dry the pasta at La Pasta Fresca, we make it pretty hard, but it's soft, and it's raw, and we drop it in the water, and it cooks in about 30 seconds. So it doesn't take long at all. This stuff is ideal for a party at home because you could keep your ball of dough like this, cut off a little piece, run it through the pasta roller, drop it in the water, and there you go.
Well, now, we don't necessarily need to finish this right now. How about we run this through the pasta thing and show everybody how this works?
That's a good idea.
Okay.
What we would do, though, is mix this dough up until it's really firm, put it in a bowl, mush it up into a ball like this, and try to get it together. And this is fairly firm. Now, when you're ready for your pasta dinner, cut off a piece that you can work with, flatten it out a little bit with your hand.
This really isn't all that complicated.
No, it's not.
Now, how much are these machines? Are these expensive?
These are cheap. These are about $25, $30.
Oh, really?
Where do you find those?
You can find them in some department stores and gourmet shops, but I see people going out and buying these $300 pasta machines that squirts the pasta out, it extrudes it, and you want to roll that pasta. There are many companies and gourmet shops that extrude the pasta. They squirt it out like a meat grinder, and that doesn't do much for the pasta's consistency. And pasta's all consistency.
Run it through twice.
See how I'm rolling this? It's going to get smoother and
Now,
smoother.
you could have flavored this with what? Give me some wild ideas of
Well,
stuff.
what I would have done with the tomato pasta, instead of putting a little bit of water in here, I would have cut back 1 egg. So I would have put less egg in, and instead of water, put some tomato paste, and you have a nice red pasta.
What are some other ideas for flavoring?
You could put peppers. First, you would kind of blanch the pepper a little bit, parboil it just so it's soft, and you could use red peppers, yellow peppers, black peppers. You can put the squid ink in if you can find it.
And seriously, you could put cocoa powder in and have chocolate.
Cocoa powder, and it's not going to taste like chocolate. Now, if you get into putting jalapeno peppers in it, or let's say a puree of fresh basil, well, that's something that's going to have some flavor, especially the pepper.
Yeah, or squash. You could put zucchini ground up, anything vegetable ground up.
Yeah, you've got to be careful though, because it has to be very finely ground, pureed. Otherwise, you're going to have little pieces in there, and the pasta's going to
Messes
fall
it up.
apart. Now, I just made this a little more homogeneous. It's nice and smooth. We're going to dip it in some flour like this, and we're going to make this 1 size thinner. I haven't used this machine in a long time. We have some huge machines at the restaurant that make tremendous amounts of pasta.
I think my little boy would love that machine for Play-Doh. That's
Yeah, I know. I remember that Play-Doh.
Well-
This is kind of encouraging. I really thought this was a lot more complicated than it is, so that's not too bad.
Well, if you're not careful, it can be complicated. I know at the restaurant, if we make our dough a little bit too dry, you stand there for hours trying to put it through the machine.
You know, I was reading that actually there's more pasta being made in homes now than there are at restaurants. It's become that popular.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, no, it doesn't mean people still aren't going to come eat at your restaurant.
Okay, I'm going to make this 1 size thinner, number 5, and we're going to
Okay.
put it through.
Okay, we're kind of running out of time here. I don't mean to rush you, but
All right,
look
here
how
we
fast you can crank that thing.
That's the fastest I've moved
Oh,
all
my,
week.
that really made it
Now, you've
long.
got this sheet. You put a
Okay.
little bit more flour on it,
Alrighty.
so it won't stick together. And we're going to put it through the cutters, and we're going to make some trinetti, which is medium-wide pasta.
Trinetti.
Trinetti, it's about 4 millimeters wide. And here we go.
Okay.
Okay, Jerry, while you're doing that, we're going to have to take a break. Appreciate you being here
Well,
today.
that's terrific. Look at it. There it is.
I love it.
That's not that hard.
There we go.
No.
Drop it right in the water. It'll cook in about 30 seconds.
I like
Oh,
that.
God, that's great. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Kind of made me hungry. And we'll be right back.
see you.
Stay with us.